I'm Aslam Cheval. I'm also known as the Mind Architect. I love talking about the mind. I'm a personal development coach, transformational coach. I My specialty is basically in helping people defragment their mind, and creating space in their mind so that they can have more abundance and joy in their personal and professional life. That's what I love doing, because when you get rid of the garbage that's in there, you open up so much space to bring in love and affection and joy, and of course, abundance that comes in because from a very young age, we've just been filled with a lot of negativity, don't do this, don't do that, blah, 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 all that stuff is there. And as you grow up, if you know anything about the paradigm, which we will talk about sometime today or next time, we are basically controlled by a paradigm. And our paradigm is basically the subconscious mind, which is a habitual mind. It does everything by habit, what you've programmed it into it, and it just throws it all out unconsciously. That's why it's known as the unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind can do trillions of things at any given time. It's like keeping your heartbeat and keeping your body temperature going. And through repetition, you build up a habit. So it's like when you get up in the morning, your routine is the same thing. You freshen yourself up, or you go down, you do your yoga, whatever exercises, you go down, you have your breakfast, and you continue with your day. But that is all done totally automatic. You don't even think about it. It's your subconscious mind that's doing it. You put in the cup, you fill up your coffee, you do everything the same way it is. So when things started going wrong, when this pandemic came in, it kind of like disrupted everybody's routine. And that's when the panic comes in. People don't know what to do. They're sitting at home. They're not going to the office. They're not doing the normal routine, which they should be doing. It's all disrupted. Now you've got to build up a different routine. And that is where your mind comes in, because your mind has just one job to do, and that is to keep you safe.
Yes.
And that is, and it really doesn't care anything about it, whether you make money or you lose money, as long as it is keeping you safe in where you are, by creating doubt and worry, because doubt and worry also creates procrastination when it comes into working part of it, because you're worried as to what's going to happen. So I'd rather be safe by just sitting here and wasting my life away, because that's what the mind thinks, that you are safe. Anything new that you try to do, now you're challenging your mind. And your mind is not comfortable because it's going into a territory or into an area which it is not familiar with. So one of the reasons a lot of people fail is because the mind knows that you're comfortable in the failure part, because it is familiar with it.
Sure.
So that is my part of it, is to explain to people why there's failure. But failure only comes when you stop doing things, when you start progressing. That's when the failure part comes in.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So how does one keep self-motivated in times like this, when you do understand that you have to continue and life continues and you've got to keep going? But how does the self-motivation work? And how do you keep going in life and trying to keep yourself motivated to doing better, keeping yourself safe, change of environment, change of workplace, change of lifestyle? How does one really manage with all of that stress and anxiety that life throws at you?
Life will throw everything at you. That's the purpose. It's if you look at nature, right? It's to grow. Everything grows. The work is is to create and to grow everything that is on this universe of ours. You look at the trees, you look at the plants, everything is there. Now, one thing you have to understand that every creature on this planet is very, very comfortable where they are. If you look at the animals, you look at the birds, they are programmed to live the way they are. They're comfortable where they are. It's
That's right.
only we human beings that are totally disoriented. We are not comfortable in our environment. We have
That's
been
because we
given
have a choice too, isn't it? We have a brain and we have a choice.
because we have this higher faculties, which are the six higher faculties that have been given to us, which is, I call the gift, which the other creatures do not have. They don't have that faculty. We have got the will, the perception, the memory, all these things that we can use our imagination to create what it is. I mean, if you really go back into Stone Age, when we were there, the Homo sapien time, they were no different from what the other animals were. We were living in a cave. We would light the fire. We would get hold of somebody, an animal, cook them up and eat. And that's what it was. But because we were not comfortable in our own environment, we started creating using our imagination, which is the most amazing gift that we have, that we can imagine and we can create. And using that is where we started creating houses, we started creating buildings, we started creating cars, we started creating planes. Yeah, so none of the other creatures can do that. But we, looking at the way the bird flies and taking that on board, that if the bird can fly, we can do it, right? But how do we go about doing it? So that's what the Wright brothers did. They used their
You're
imagination
challenging
that if
yourself.
they could, challenge yourselves. So they looked at it and they created. But at the same time, when they were doing it, there were a whole bunch of people that were totally against them and they said that you can't do it. But the fact is that whatever you want to create, if there is an idea in your mind, and the Wright brothers did that. I mean, it was, I think, in 1903 when the first flight took off, and it was there for 15 seconds. And people said, well, it was there for 15 seconds only. The Wright brothers said, yes, it was there for 15 seconds. And that is
Yes.
more than enough. There is ignorance and there's knowledge. You know,
Yes.
we are a conscious mind and a subconscious mind that is there. So we take in all the information, like from school, we just learn. School gives us a lot of knowledge, but that doesn't teach us how to take ourselves to the next level, how to build ourselves up. It tells you what to do, but it's your
Correct.
subconscious mind that makes you move around. It's what you put
Yes.
into your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So basically, what really happens is that we see, we've got these five sensory factors, which is see, smell, taste, touch, and hear.
Right.
This is the same sensory factors which all the other creatures have, which they live by.
Yes.
But people, the ignorant part is that they look at the sensory factors, which is giving us the outside information, and they create the feeling inside. So if they see the pandemic, they're seeing it there, they're hearing the news that is there, that what is happening around them, and they create what is known as doubt and worry, which is then creating fear.
Yes. That's right.
So instead of actually living from inside out, which is then you're projecting it, because once, whatever you see around you, Shabana, whatever, the camera that's in front of you, this computer that's in front of you, was actually initially created with the imagination that was inside us.
That's right.
So we gather all the knowledge, but we really don't utilize the knowledge
Correct.
because the
Because
mind is
imagination
something
really brings out your creativity, isn't it? If
absolutely.
there is no imagination, there's no creativity and there's no progress that we can make in life.
No, we have this immense amount of energy that is going to us. It is coming to us in its purest form. And when it comes into our mind, into the thinking part, that's when we start to mold it. Right? The energy is pure energy. It is what you do with that energy is the thinking mind that is doing it. And if you're giving doubt and worrying, you're creating fear, which is then internally manifesting. Your body is just the instrument, it's the manifesting part of your mind. So your mind is telling your body what to do and how to react to it. So if you create that fear inside it, then you're going to manifest the fear. I mean, for example, like you have electricity that is coming into your house through your electric point plug, right? That's pure energy that's coming in. For example, that 220 watt is coming in. It's the same type of an energy that's coming into us. What you do or what you connect to the plug is what you're creating, right? You could connect your computer to it, you could connect your camera to it, you connect your toaster to it, you could connect your microwave to it, you could connect the lights, fans. It's from that point onwards is what you're creating it. So in the same way, the energy that is coming into us is in its purest form.
Yes.
It's the thought that is molding it. It's the unseen thing that is there we have, which we take it and then we give it a form.
That's right.
Like thinking about it. And then that's the emotions that we create.
That's right. That's what I spoke about in my talk. I'm not sure if you've seen that one. I did it this morning, that how we keep the fear in us, and which actually is something we're believing that is not real, but we tend to believe that it's real because we're constantly telling ourselves, putting that fear into us, and making ourselves believe that whatever is happening is real and it can happen to you as well, rather than like you said, what if it doesn't happen to you? So leaving that positive side, and we're not looking at the positive side of it. It's how you get used to it, isn't it? You've got to make your body used to thinking more positively.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. But again, the mind again is always more comfortable in the negative side of it because it's not
that's
getting
right.
challenged.
Yes,
You know, and where I mean, I've always said a lot of people will say, you've got to face the fear, feel the fear and do it in any case. My saying is that the fear is based in the future. It's not even happened. Why do you even need to give energy to it? Because we've been conditioned in our life, to give energy to all the negativity by our parents, by our teachers, by our seniors. We've always been told that don't do this, don't do that. What if you get hurt? What if you fall? All that negativity has been created into us. So we've grown up with that. And that is the programming that we have in our mind, which is the paradigm. Paradigm is it's like the computer. When you buy a computer, it just has an operating system.
yes,
But what you put into the program is what you're going to get out.
that's right.
Until such time you don't change that program, you will stay in that same loop all the time.
Yeah, so I think we're coming to something that you're very passionate about and you love talking about is um, gratitude, having gratitude in life. So how does one recognize and concentrate on having um, conscious effort to have gratitude when all of this challenging circumstances is all around us, which we are so unsure about what's going to happen tomorrow? So how does one actually keep themselves motivated to have gratitude in their lives?
When you have, we're talking a lot about doubt and worry because that's where everything starts from.
That's correct.
When you're not aware as to what is going around you, when the awareness is not there, your doubts kick in. You kick in into the worry part of it. Then it goes
Yes.
into fear. And then from
Yes,
fear, it goes into anxiety.
that's
This
right.
is the step. You see, after fear, when you have excessive fear, you go into anxiety. From anxiety, it goes into suppression. You start suppressing because you don't want to feel that anxiety. So what you're doing is you're not expressing it, you're suppressing it. And when you suppress it, you go into depression. And The next stage after depression is dis-ease. Your body is not at ease anymore. And when it goes into dis-ease, it goes into disintegration, where it then has to express itself, which comes out in forms of eczema, or it can lead to cancer or whatever, all kinds of problems start because your mind is not at ease. But then if you flip it over to everything that is an opposite, the law of polarity is very, very clear. The universe is governed by certain laws, and it's fixed. It's not made by us, it's made by the universe. It's like gravity. You leave something, it's going to fall. It doesn't care. If you're holding onto a child and you leave it, gravity, oh, no, I'm going to save the child. It's going to fall. So the same thing is the law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. If there's light, there's darkness. If there's up, there is down. If you switch on, whatever it is, everything in our life has the opposite. So when you feel that fear, the opposite of fear is faith. So when you have doubt and worry, you have to have the understanding, the steady, what you've studied about it. You come into fear. Fear is where you need to have faith in yourself, because faith and fear are both things that you cannot see. You can't see fear and you can't see faith. It's something that you have to believe in. Now, when it comes to gratitude.
Yeah. With faith, I also feel like maybe having more self-belief as well. So having your own having faith in yourself, having confidence, which develops confidence once you have faith in yourself, being self-aware about yourself.
That's self-awareness. But we are talking about gratitude. So one of the things which I have made it a habit, and I always tell my clients, every time, start your day with gratitude. Kick off your day with gratitude. Write down 10 things that you're grateful for. If you can't think of 10 things, write down 5, 4, 3, but put it down and actually emotionally get involved in that gratitude. Now, it could be for this cup of coffee that I'm having. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm having this cup of coffee.
Yes.
Because it's making me feel good. And you emotionally get, it could be your children. You could be grateful for them, for your spouse, your partner, for the house you live in. So anger and fear cannot be with love. You cannot have the same thing at the same time. You cannot feel angry and feel love at the same time. You cannot feel fear and love at the same time. So what you're doing is, when you are grateful for what you have, and you're getting emotionally involved, that I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this. I've got this pen. I've got this, That is creating emotionally love inside you. That's your heart that's getting involved with it. And it's the emotion that is created and the energy that is created. It avoids the fear. Anytime when you have that doubt, when you have that uneasiness, of what is going to happen, just look at what you already have. What is it that you have at this very moment? Because what you have is, you're so blessed with. Number one, you have an amazing life. You're alive. That's the biggest thing. You get another day to experience. So when you are in that gratitude mood, you cannot entertain any of the negativity. So always stay in that mood. We always said grateful for whatever we have. When you have something, even when you've had your lunch, you've had your dinner, you've had your breakfast, give thanks to that.
Yes.
Because we unintentionally, we just fill our plate up and we eat the food without realizing how many people were involved in putting that rice on the table. How many people were involved in putting that vegetable that came into your plate. We need to be grateful for that, because they all have put their part inside so that you could enjoy a lovely life. So when you start your day and you continue your day with gratitude, it just changes your life. And if you do that, seriously, if you do that for 30 days, continuously make it a habit, trust me, for the next 12 months, you will just do it because it becomes a habit. And remember, your subconscious mind just works on habits. It's a habitual mind. That's how everything is working. So subconsciously, you'll get up in the morning and you'll start writing all your gratitudes down.
But just at times, again, I feel at challenging times like this, when people have lost jobs, they've lost a lot of family members, having gratitude might be so hard for them to be looking forward to something or feeling blessed with something when they wake up in the morning.
That's a habit you need
How
to
does
create.
one? Yes, yeah, again, yeah.
That is something which you have to do it. It's like
Yeah.
learning cycling, learning to walk.
Yeah.
It is so difficult when you're doing something new. Even like, when you came in front of the camera, you feel all that anxiety, you feel that fear. I mean, am I okay? Am I doing this? Am I doing that correctly? First time, second time, and then it just becomes so natural. You just flip the camera on, you put it on, and you just speak, and you just say whatever you have to say, and you get over with it. So what you were saying is basically at this time, how does one get into the gratitude mode? It's just making it a habit.
Yeah.
It's just
So what
building
is
up a
not in your
habit.
control? Yes. So what is not in your control is the pandemic is not in your control, but what is in your control is yourself and what you have. And so then getting that habit with what you've got and what you have in control and having gratitude for it.
Exactly. Let me just show you something. One of the things which I talk about and I normally encourage people to see even is CTEAR. Now, C basically is circumstance, right? Circumstances are everything that is out of your control. For currently, it's the pandemic that is there. Your siblings, your spouse, your children, the mortgage, the bank, the taxes, everything, birth, death, everything is a circumstance. And circumstances are something which can be proven in the court of law, which is a fact that is there. And that is something it is not in your control at all.
Yeah.
What is in your control is your thought.
Yeah.
Now, when something happens, I created a post yesterday where I said we have between 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
And each and every one of those thoughts are packed with high explosive productivity. It can create or destroy your reality. Each and every thought of yours can either create or destroy your reality. What energy you give to that thought then creates your emotion. So whatever you're feeling is, whatever your thoughts are, you're creating that emotion. So if you're now giving a lot of energy to the pandemic, which is now COVID, you're just constantly thinking about the COVID, how many people have died, what's happening in India, what's happening in the UK, what's happening in Australia, what's happening in America. That's all we are constantly thinking about. What do you think is happening to us? We are now giving energy to that COVID thing, which is then creating that emotion of doubt and worry.
Correct. Yeah.
When that doubt and worry is there and you're getting into that emotion, you get into that action, which is of fear.
That's right.
And when you are now into that action of fear, your result will then create a reaction, which is your basically your action.
Yes.
Sorry, action is that this is your result, which your result is your reaction even towards it. And your result will then eventually match up with your thoughts.
Yeah. True. That makes
Yeah.
so much sense. Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
When you
So
look at
your
it like
results
this,
will
it
be,
makes so much sense.
yeah.
Putting it into perspective.
Yeah. So it's very, very important that you are familiar and you monitor your thoughts. When you get up in the morning, the first thing we, oh my God, I've got another bloody day to do, right? Scarcity, doubt, debt. Oh, I've got to make that bill payment. I've got to pay that check. I've got to do this. You get up in the morning with that energy. What do you expect the rest of the day to be like?
That is so true.
Yeah. But instead of getting up in the morning and I am so happy and grateful, start your day with positivity.
Yes,
And immediately your energy body changes
so true.
because your mind will give you exactly what you ask for. It will just give it to you. It will not care. It does not think. It does not bother it one bit, but it will only listen to your command. What command are you giving it to create that emotion?
That is so true.
Because your body is the manifestation of your mind. Your mind is giving the command for it to do or what it to feel. That's what you're creating.
That is so true.
Now,
Because
if
life
you
is
have
full of
lost,
challenges anyway, COVID or no COVID, isn't it?
absolutely, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Life is full of challenges. And for example, when COVID hit, and I was like thinking, oh shit, what's going to happen to me? I do a lot of online coaching, not online. I used to be in the hotels. We go out over there, we speak over there at events. And that's where I used to get my clients from. But I was so limited to only UK because those were the ones that could come in to attend the events.
Correct.
So of course, doubt and worry came in.
Yes.
And as we were sitting over here and just twiddling around and thinking what to do, of course, Zoom was always there with me because I used to coach people on Zoom. And that's when I
Yes.
started saying, okay, if I can't do that, let me start doing it on Zoom and start having small, small events on Zoom. And
Yes.
what I realized was that not only was I helping people in the UK, I started spreading out. I'm speaking to you in Australia now.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I now have clients all over.
Yeah.
So it just opened up a complete different thing. So had I just sat down and I said, okay, that's it, it's done. How am I going to do it? Instead of trying to find an alternate way of doing it,
Yeah.
which has been more beneficial for me because I now feel not only can I reach more clients, but it's more cost effective. I don't
That's
have
right.
to be booking up a hotel room and going through 150, 200, 500 people at a time. I can just do the same thing over here, do a webinar, do an event, and I have the same amount of people. Yes, we do miss out on that personal touch,
That's right.
but we're still communicating because you can't go out and do it. So let's find a way that we can do business in-house.
That's right.
So online is another way of doing business.
Correct.
Don't
That's right.
shut yourself out. There is plenty of opportunities. This world is full of opportunities.
Yes.
It's just that we have to give that right energy and ask, what is it that you want? The energy will show you the way, what to do. Instead of asking, I'm done. I don't have anything to do. I'm lost. Because
Yes.
if you're going to say that, then it's going to show you that.
That's right. Thank you so much, Aslam, for being here.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. It was such a pleasure to have you. And we'll definitely talk about attitude that you're talking about, and we're going to definitely cover up a little bit more and explore a bit more on that next time.